can't see it anymore. Now every other day it might, look at this, no eclipse, right? No eclipse, moon's moving around, going around the Earth still going around the Earth, but not getting in the way of the sun. And then maybe 8 months later, 8 months later, flies around, look at the light side, what's happening? Moon goes in front. Okay? Now, do you guys know what happens in a lunar eclipse? Solar eclipse is where the moon gets in front of the sun, gets between the Earth and the sun so you can't see the sun. What happens in a lunar eclipse, Raoul?
Doesn't that mean that the sun comes in between the Earth and the moon?
Okay, what happens if the sun comes between the Earth and the moon? Solar eclipse, hold on, solar eclipse is when the moon comes between the Earth and the sun, and so it blocks out the light, and you can't see the sun anymore. Bingo! Raoul just got it. When the Earth comes between the sun and the moon, and why is that important? If the Earth comes between the sun and the moon's still there. Couldn't the Earth just look at the moon? Why can't the Earth just look at the moon if it's directly between the sun and the moon? Okay, think about this. This right here is a solar eclipse. The moon is directly between the Earth and the sun, okay? Blocking the light. Not up here, not down there, right in front of it. Okay? So we can't see the sun. That's pretty obvious. We can't see the sun because the moon's like right in between. A lunar eclipse is when the Earth gets between the sun and the moon. And it makes it so we can't see the moon. Doesn't that seem odd? Because here's the Earth. There's nothing between the Earth and the moon. So why can't the Earth see the moon? Why can't we on Earth see the moon if we're between it and the sun? Brooke?
I also have a question. Because, you know how the sun, when sometimes weekends when I'm home, the sun will get real bright, and then a couple minutes later, a little bit dark.
And it's not a cloudy day?
Oh no, not really. I don't get why that happens. Is that?
Well, it's hard to answer because I don't know exactly what you're describing. I mean, there could be like smog. It could be. I mean, people always joke in Los Angeles that the sun sometimes isn't very bright just because there's like smog and smoke and pollution. Could be clouds that aren't very visible. I mean, I really don't know. All right. But guys, all right. So clearly, solar eclipse. The moon gets between the Earth and the sun. We cannot see the sun. The moon is blocking it. But the lunar eclipse is when the Earth gets between the sun and the moon. So it happens for a different reason because we could still, there's nothing in between us and the moon, but why can't we see the moon? Takis, what do you think?
Because there's too much light on us.
Too much light on us? No, but it does have something to do with light. Imani, what do you think it has to do with?
Because
I can't hear you, so you can't open your mouth.
because the sun is between the moon, so you can't see it. And
The sun's not in between the moon. The Earth is between the moon and the sun.
I know, that's what I mean. And the sun comes closer to the Earth. It comes like that.
No, it's got something to do with light, though, Ricky.
It's because the light is shining on the Earth, and in space it's really dark, so you can't see the moon because the light is shining on the Earth, not the moon.
Bingo. Guys, does the moon make its own light? The moon does not make its own light. The only reason we can see the moon in the sky at night is because it's reflecting the sun's light. So that bright moon you see, and we'll see the moon phases tomorrow. We'll do moon phases tomorrow, but this is a beginning idea. The only reason, Ricky is exactly right, if the sun cannot get its light to the moon, we can't see the moon. Because the moon does not make its own light like the sun does. It only reflects the sun's light. So again, the moon's going around the Earth in different ways, and then at some point, here's the moon. You can still see part of the moon, right? You can still see it over here, sun shining on it. Okay, and we're on Earth, we're looking at the moon. But then here it goes around here, and what just happened? Look at the ball, what just happened? See light on the ball?
Yep.
This is the moon. And then it's going around the Earth, and it goes around the Earth, and it goes around the Earth, and what? What just happened? It got dark. It's a lunar eclipse because the Earth is now blocking the sun's light from getting to the moon. So if we're standing on the Earth, we can't see the moon because the moon is not bright unless the sun's light is hitting it. Oh.
Mr. Hurwitz, when I go outside,
That happens sometimes because the moon's always there. The moon is always there. Remember we talked about moonrise? Yeah, and we had a problem with moonrise because when we tried to observe the phases of the moon, and you guys tried to write them in your journals, you couldn't do it because right now the moonrise is at like 3:30 in the morning, and you guys were trying to look at it at 9 o'clock at night. The moonrise sometimes is at like 4 or 5, and if the moonrise is at 4 or 5, and it's in the right position, meaning it's visible from the place where you're at, you can see it during the daytime. I've seen that a lot too when it's still bright outside, but you can see the moon out there because it's still reflecting some of the sun's light. Right. It's called gravitational pull, but it's the pull of gravity. Why do meteors do what?
Why do they come down if you have gravity?
That's a good question. I'm going to give you an educated guess answer, and sometime this afternoon we'll look up the right answer. I think the reason that meteors are able to break through is because of the incredible speed with which they travel. You guys saw Apollo 13, the movie, right? What happened when they were entering the Earth's atmosphere again? What happened to them?
A meteor. The spaceship.
The power.
Almost looked like a meteor, didn't it? What happened, Ro? You were saying something? And you guys can turn the light back on.
They came down so fast that